Me kashi. Me say muna mo say obi ye achim Sakawa mafia. And I'm say Sadia also ye gonja Sakawa mafia. Ah, and obi aka bi ache.
Man payin John Mahama yeden.
Ono no kan say Nana do dankwa Akufo-Addo. Ono ni nuanom e be wie sika ma ne dia na meboa. Enti ene so bi say wo nuanom so be wie sika ma we dia. Wotumi kasa. Wotumi kasa.
Oye gonja den.
Me say and ono so I was some refer to him as a gonja Sakawa mafia because we be fro bi achim Sakawa mafia. Sebi Nana Akufo-Addo de ontimi nyu ano. Because ono no oye papa panyin o oye nua panyin. Anko no de obu ni ho awaye din. Enso mo de mutumi kan ya ka kire no. Ade de etumi kam ncham. Why can't we call you the same name? Because you started the name calling. Who and out to be now a catcher and say, Wano, I will crumbs here. Say, flood na wo hono. A engineering problem when you were the president. Me boa. If it about position there, we'll see the over power there, we'll see they be a indiscipline. Na Nana Akufo-Addo wo hono I know the engineering problem there. Na indiscipline yo. Inti won so sa na e be catch say wo you obi a same face double tongue wano no e can left her o cha nopa na can right anopa o say engineering problem anajo o say indiscipline such a person no e say Ghana for to me say or double tongue and abroni say double speak or cap benkuma na waka nifa sa say mouth no nipa bi sa no the party no yen san for mo power because sebi sa time no na ye nim says I not here. It's yet to mean to a new way, Enfesiano. And you know, say 2024 no, John Mahama, me do for dada mia Mahama dada mio.
Cancel me kumio.
Mahama dimia re Mahama, I hope to see Ghana. And I want them to know. Me adia bako ama yenu will be a charges as said in Asemna or Makweno. Share. It is an who Ghana for.
Yabeba, we do one come up.
Bono, the honeymoon is over. From now, no, John Mahama also who say the same Ghanaians who had the effrontery to face Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, to face all the dictators, including Rawlings. We are not going to sit down, make them cheaters every day. Walai, Ghana people, make you wake up, make you fight for your right. We not go sit down. Make them cheaters every day.
But no. Only in Tokwa bet me akoni ye ukokrumuti. Say for your man.
Yeah, can't say no be Tokwa. Some no mo buye. Omo no mo chichi etum. Iche be kasa. Na fe de intosuo no first na efita. Ye be tun to so kokwa achen. Ni ache Mahama say Mahama you came to meet 1992 constitution. Even those who did not have constitutional rule, we do not allow them. Ake jata bile jatani. Yem papa no mu Dubai hu Akufo-Addo. They were the ones who faced Rawlings to bring constitution. They were the ones who brought the rule of law, criminal libel. Now they all buy. They could to Mianye, Atamils and Tunyanye, who crowd first and went to Mianye. Because this time, you are not going back for election. You think you can take us for granted? President Atamils, Mr. President Atamils, President John Mahama, Atamils, your predecessor. All those things, he did not do it. We are come to talk about Constitutional Review Committee. Yes, we are come to talk about all those things. And who say, Jimmy? Because you have been given the mandate doesn't mean you should abuse your power and the mandate. Ghana for say at this juncture, you per se you did 2/3 majority ema NDC. Now omunya said to me now omuwe den adepa. It is at to me near the mouth. Now require the bonia. Ube to me a tumu every day. Nyankopon ba Joseph wanko prison. Owie ye obedi ohini o. Owie obedi ohini. President Kufuor mu chi no tumu. Rawlings time, I'm chilling to obedi president. Kwesi Pratt. Kweku Bakon. Why are you chilling to me that? It's a miracle so ma come abane there. Ain't anything wonderful. Now media the problem is say so come ma obi and Ghanaians. I don't know why you are not understanding this issue. 50 million
bail condition.
$5 million. What are we talking about? And the worst thing is that it's on the fact say they are investigating you. And they say I charge you, I do a court. Court amount. Yes, the court is supposed to give the bail terms. Uchina, within 48 hours, what did not court? Say, oh, charging. Then the court will decide under the circumstances, say, are we going to give him bail? I.e., are we going to remand him or we are going to give him bail? then the court will say, as we are going to give you bail, these are the bail conditions. Not you, Yoko. Now let's now Uchiyobia. Now we want the bail conditions. Now we are Wakache say 50 million. Are you crazy? Is that how we should act in this country? And then a man will be one lawyer commentator. When you sure say lawyer need this starting with A. Lawyer Otaiba Peace FM. Pa lawyer to me can't insembia anyhow.
Ampao.
Aha. Ampao.
Larry Sampao.
Epidemo kase. Enye.
Maurice Sampao.
Yes. Ene se woko yoku next time ebi obi aka chose fa Yesu Christo bra. Eni nation for 12. Na no kofa wen. No, because what is going on is nasty. And you see, it's about time Ghanaians stood up and fight for their rights. John Mama, let me just assure you. John Mama, I want to assure you. Me say, we not go sit down, make you cheat us every day. We are not going to accept it. And John Mama should know that we, the children of UP, we, the children of Northern People's Party, who suffered even preventive detention, we will survive. This tribunal matter is become me. I must say that's Sakofaba, because you know that some of the regional tribunal heads, the Chief Justice, and then the President will nominate this, and the Chief Justice will nominate the two left. So I'm calling here, Tokonu Asemno. Sa behavior, Yehu Bibiao, Daho, but Ghanaians, I'm surprised. You know one thing that surprised me, Bonini. Now I say we may cut to up straight. I'm surprised, leaders, they don't know their own people. Ghana, President Jomama, remember Aborigine Rights Protection Society. John Mensah Saba went to UK court to win a case against the Queen for Ghana's land. What makes you think you, son of E.A. Mahama, can come and tell us what time to sleep again in this country? Who you arrest on social media for saying what? 32 cows have been used. Now, also for now, buy ya one bar bontinia because say, 32 cows or yamamu. Now, Yanko be say, do ketchup. What's your watching? What kind of behavior is this? Sanya mano, Nana do cry, I can't say we couldn't hear it. And I'm what? Go away. If people say Nana Akufo-Addo should die in aeroplane crash, no cry, no, say aeroplane in Yejuma, na Okowukra, Yelusushi.
One hunto NDC.
Obi Kochino.
Journalist back.
So, President Mahama, why? You don't have tolerance, you don't have thick skin, then stop the politics. And go and sing in Sunday school, Kumbaya, my Lord. Now say, Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. Now, yes, because necessary politics are. Then you should go to Sunday school and there nobody will insult you. But nobody will come and talk your matter. Now, me am a tear cry, and come to me, Dimatem. Muntimida. Me am my opponent.
Yeah, of course.
I'm in your contest and I be here to me a time on radio. So, me I don't respond. Not because me know, because me wouldn't say me many. Manoso edi, but me share many bia, and was say me apply emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Because of where I've gotten to, the way me, Michael Oquaye, I will talk and behave in 2012. Not after Ghana has given me the honor to now go and serve as ambassador, to go and serve as a CEO. I can't talk the same because Paul our Bible must say when I was a child I behaved like a child,
yeah.
And now I'm an adult I behave like an adult. It's who President Mahama, why you from assemblyman, the only man, why assemblyman, why MP, why deputy minister, why a minister, why a vice president, what's a president? You are one of the most, if not the most experienced politician in Ghana's history. Iti nyamani boha. I see Baba Mando say Jano, Onkasa. It doesn't affect me. I'm concentrating on my work. I'm focusing on my work. And that's another Akufo-Addo. It's the answer.
Mahama coach Sunday school.
Uncle David no attending Uncle Sunday school, no now. Because I want to tell you Kumbaya, my Lord, this mano. But politics, you'll be more and Crawford do at them. Even though it's wrong. Nyankopon, Yesu Christo. Or your religion. It's only one area of where we are inspire religion. Yet to show Bunusamba. Yet the in Kase, a shanity. Yet the spear, warning. See, these are some of the things you go through as a top politician. But President Mahama, I always wanted to see him as a dove because me, I'm considered as one of the doves in NPP. You understand? Yes. Now, no dove. Ninti hawks no cry bibino. Now, no ka today at Tamils. Oh, I'm say me as sunje hineba. That's why I was his vice. Oh, me zemente them, mempe them near man. Ma onye them. Remonacha jai demazine. Na shemi ahoroba. No. Jomama okane bonja talk. You say yes. Somehow we know he's very emotionally matured. Into kodina tema no enfana because they do annoy. But wait there, in his name, Oko Kasa Pani Achu, Oko Kasa. And now, so I see as I choose. Just say, yes, it's Sandobi, near Chino, or China Baba Mando. But you know what President John Mahama should be careful of? He's rather making this evil popular. Yes. Obit is a denta kumino. I never knew any adenta kumi bia in MPP. By ne Obonidia. Obia baby say, hey, now our because he has been maltreated and ill-treated by the president, the first gentleman of the land, who should have been the one to protect him. And you and I know, were we not in this country, when people like President Mills, Yakochin Crawford Simunjao, okay,
yes, but
Miss Anya no more, you know,
council critics Becca say, Emran ne Juma,
Emrabe. And Rabbi Charles says, I'll coach you bia. I was on the question bia. Or only lawyer to me. He should tell me that law in this country. And Rabbi, the to me ma acha, the right. Say, 1 year will case in ye. 1 year substance kona kotisha tawali. Now the nakotum. Never season the cast in. Up to now, to me charge you know. Up to now, to me charge you know. Why? So why do you go and seize the cast? It's like I want to show you where power lies. Kind of system. And many are brave because you see me, I'm somebody who believes in the rule of law. If you notice, my mature article in the graphic, I think about 2 months ago, I'll get the date for you, about third terms and what it has done in Africa. Third term. And Crawford, you're more 2 term yeah. Either some per third term and now almost stretchy almost term a benefit you mono. And no number 1 reason for coups in West Africa. And number 1 reason for coups in Africa. Now Ghana no, I want to say school prefect of constitution. I name so bit say John Mahama as our constitution and they do buy. Into China, on the on can say okay, and no in fact. But when Crawford or more can say bra third term, those people are they talking sense? Are they talking any sense in this country? When the constitution says you can do 2 terms. Secondly, say third term we are in the context of 5 years. We all know say it cannot be for Mahama. It will be for the next set of people because we agree the rules before we go for election.
Yes.
And also let's move straight to the Constitutional Review Committee matters. No?
Right. Yeah, we have 5 years for MPs. 5 years for the president. I idea bet me abua.
Oh, I know the ebeboa because Osha maybe I hear more time. Since I never be a devil's advocate. But Osha is why more because maybe Osha baby to America 4 years. So only they also mean the only difference is almost the end of November. Once a year, so you say November. November, no, it makes sense. And then I think the handing over should be maybe still the January 7th, so that we have enough time. Those are some of the things to look at. I just feel say, Onipa woman assignment. It was all the bad January. So same students, what the man is on February June, or elite. So them because people spoon. Jumana I was all December obe di bronyano oriano say D-Star 107.3 onsuya hwe obe feel it abi pana enti I say obi on say sisi awoka koye A-level exams I nya the 20 years obe feel 5 years no obe say feel in fact tell me old school no your common entrance you're 12 years old may come SHS one you decided say class 6 for no be only in class 7 for no metro try class 6 for no try no
let's say class 7 for
1 year no didn't make any difference. Do you understand? Because preparation because onim say time is abridged for class 6 no into no ni special classes the bibia pepepe and many of them went into places like Achimota School or in comfort says Simeon Yante no more Jokache all these boys they went ahead because they prepared in advance and they joined us. You understand? Some even go higher than some of us.
But a man for so say 4 years no ya nisa and the project bia when we near to abana by the few
4 or 5 years and yes I the mom will be 20 years over the amount 20 years say no the project will be and I'm a anytime I say the start here say no I want to treat it as an academic subject say yeah for 5 years in a way but and so in a way because maybe feel say time no it won't really matter but sometimes you should change a few things but say it is not the end of the matter. After that there must be a referendum
yes
on these matters and we must have 75%. A minimum of 40% should do the election and about 2/3 of that vote. So there are still a few hurdles to go. In 5 years, no, media ubisame on the balance of the scale. You keep it 4 years, sir.
Okay.
I also like the fact that you need a cycle near America no cut together. No. A very very good thing. Inti yenshane sir. Who should say UK in the last 10 years? When your prime minister therefore so almost way but omoko eni chen omoko eni kra chen so we dey Ghana for ya yenhwe na hwe say ade a wo fu say 4 years okay and now 5 years be say bibi say 5 years so ense say bibi dia and dey obetu etia say wo hwe na 5 years so be boa na why my project dey yenya nwie now and also automatically never affect parliament because 5 years here now parliament is only 5 years. I don't know if 10 years as a parliamentarian for 2 terms no I was say 10 years as president no I don't think so because 10 years as president not just can na kufa do ba na ka almost still
yes
and I'm na John Mahama ko wetin ya train
John Mahama
na omusu anope bia tietiemu okude to black otimi tiemu na ntini ewo ne kon nyina sorry omo kan de omo pe omo kan wi ase nyina ya ntro ene ora no se oni midi fufo
me fe no ka
they say operation release all looters we NDC media we dey corner kofa yan fa wan court yet and charge you fully o case start here per say nolly prosecute wo dey ya convict o kra no ye kwa evidence was say ye dey call for appeal no ye fa ko na ya hwa na ejao and also ye be kan wasem right then the presidential age very interesting one we dey also make count 10 you say from 40 to 35
yes
inti mo amaya 35 mo nya ready president who to be president is about your tax
and also we council 35 nipa no or mature enough to be
and no debatable we go do what we give 45 Jimmy we Jimmy still so and obi so what we did 35 in so no very matured so on internet yes fact so and no the ocean balance of probability it has to be an exceptional 35-year-old
okay
who can come in that manner na ye be hwe Ghana for say better about man ye be hu but no the age be brain no white hair no ebi mo ha omuda ho agimi na fair election date no so they say maka
November
they call first week in November I say be 7th na na hwe no ministers they say 60 e because President Mahama no sister they say nyina so wia ne ho so nim sa or the crofo ahye nyema bebre ase and why to say 60 ministers now oh yeah the sister say nya by force obi so dey nya sister but yenhwe eno so yenka wasem I don't know how it will work
but number of ministers na chere dwuma be ya na say
yes sir on say Ghana no say na system ne tie no you have to decouple the civil servants from the politicians
okay
But civil servants and Kasano, they compromise you. And you know, I had to say, the political heads, no, you have to be fair. Because one share you to commit you be one inheriting from a previous government. Because on one yarding on that level, no, they can sabotage it. And we know all these stories. But and also the any bad say 60 never copy
right, but ministers no am for so esusu say nkebe ya appointment of ministers no any kwan say efiri o man imra shwe fie ba nipa ne MP a wonye na MP say be obetima concentrate ye na bato mpeso aso adwuma na ye nkwa abonten na ye mfa ministers ni mfira abonten
me Ghana ha ye benya Donald Trump president one day and one say akosesa ne nkrofo abodonfo bibiri no mu nyina be minister na mutuninya obi a oye spokesperson for health or say I don't believe in vaccination. What are you talking about? But one will say you force the president to pick from parliamentarians. Remember that these are people who have been vetted by the populace.
Okay.
The populace have already chosen them as parliamentarian. So arguably, no, by going through that process from their party level, coming into the parliamentary level, EC2 vets them, make sure say we are before the people vote for you. No, now you say president, you choose for 200 way. We also choose ministers from them. It's a way of controlling Abodanfo being added to the way to be brave. But means maybe 1 or 2 between your background and your majority. Because when you say majority should be 50 plus 1, and I'm one. Who should President Kufuor be 80? President John Mahama so it should be brave. I think also 80%. So and no, it's a guide and a check and balance on the president. If you know the any say you free ho, a die be you free ho. You want to be chair Ghana hakra na nya diketwa. And yeah, parliament in so no you say parliamentary cap 300 members, 276 elected, 27 proportional representation seat. So
I know breaking it down my na
okay. Now the problem is this. The criteria is known, but the criteria for selection has not yet been done. Okay. In the first one, criteria you pay more proportion in terms of representation is low. So the first group are women.
Okay.
How to add more women to this group of 24. 2, youth. Some exceptional 35-year-olds bear 30-35 need a training to come into such roles. It being better be president. And then person with disability.
Okay.
And to some more disability, say maybe ordinarily on to me and constantly among the 276. But yet the nations are proportional representation. How we are going to do it and choose them, and how are they going to represent and
of course.
So that is also being worked on. Then we move on to dual citizen to contest. I know the Emmy now opening acquaint to abrabo acquaint to visa for na small boy be small girl be no be now and what shoe are you wearing? Do you have 3 singlet at home? O boxer shorts here now Brazil the 3 and then our 3 and then only 6 Brazil just questions be in some hununkra even to be say now when you travel will you come back? Now be show me die and team Ghana. Na London so they maybe tell what you na London I die pa just say asaso na obeda who can slow be crash asaso they be say will you come back now person me be say now will you go back but we dey say open it do citizenship there according to America UK omukuta intelligence and world secrets they allow dual citizenships to be MPs and all the rest. Ambassadors.
Never told me the best for Mamma Tiasia. Young fan say UK. What year to say we UK ni Ghana, we Ghana ni took it and crack time in Nukrano as so we bet my contest.
Yes,
to me.
When you UK new who UK crata Eddie Abontine so Abrabo Sabi and no person who Srawa down for be and now family member I was Switzerland and once I time of passport no Yamao 30 or say 90 days depending on what we call Canada ba and no the a point to Krata. But we know who is Ghanaian, who is not Ghanaian. Ghanaian now we and of course every rule exception into over now 1 or 2 maybe vetting at the various level, party level vetting. So on say minister Krasna Bebano.
Yeah, better, yeah.
Yeah, but two near who say what's up ni papa pay just say I dream papa be a new team. Say now say assign. Into vetting system no, but the dual citizenship no. We a ya a bit more ya deep. Now we the kuta brocha and krata the MP behind the sign. Now we and here. But I'm happy say Ghana has gotten to the point where we see say we have dual citizenship who are beneficial to Ghana. Wow, now we opinion bonini. The first one could have Germany passport. And not just want to use my no.
Yeah.
And I'm saying no.
Yeah.
And I'm saying UK and America. There are examples. They have a dual citizen. And to me say me ko bo braka krana me ko nya me British citizen. Ebian papa ko school. And o me me di be 7 8 my back Ghana matena Ghana has hwe me nimwe. And me kasa we mu ebroni. Kenya broni baby na me kuta nkrata na me kuta na me dey akwentu kakra mo se me dropo. Enya se me ye MP kra me ra parliament o. Se me be apply me dropo. Ntene me pese me ko France ade se me ko salai. Sanye ma na hu hia. Ehu se nya no na be ma yenya development.
Right.
De bia meka ma me nka sa asem we. Ghana se na ye boye ma tietia ma ene bentoa ochina kekedro hwa na aye mobile phone. Hwa na aye drone. Obianya bi Obroni on ne ba kasa o cheri nyansa menye we jaisa owie ya no akoye aeroplane. It is tete behavior na dual citizen there e pound na we okuta abroche nkrata nti wunya nipa no nkofo bu o mkuta enso me Ghana for kra chen wa oti Ghana ha sebe wo de bia wa dwen kra e wa abroche no ono ti ho enso adwen wa or experience in Ghana or history in Ghana or blood in Ghana oba ye be beti no ne ahwe na yahwe ne yebeko
your election of MMDCs
sa de no de a difficult one me who so person me no because my TV be to say yes president be nominate 5 people be na on nominate 5 na they can ya to about so na say no there is no election una be chere the be elect man ono be so ye elect no apply no mra yes no you to man en to man but say wo the ba na it say election there say no na assembly for no anamwa the nomination is voted for. Nasa election de keke o.
Right, but abasa mpuntu numa be koso okronkuma num because emfa ne say MPP abaiti akonwa so na yekoto aba mu obi na ye NDC ni as DC ana MC ya. Ono de obehwe ne say menhwe ma adwuma nkoso se ne be aban be gidin papa enti mebo no matruka enye huma sebe ye wo okronkuma num.
No, it's a very difficult one because ideally no I was say to me ye adwuma whether MPP NDC but ya de politically matured. Enti na nye many bi wokra na obehunu say ye be ma assembly man ana DC 20,000 we nye ni penti no na e bi ya come na 10,000 sa nye man bi wo ho sometimes but ye to me overcome sa pettiness na me feel say dey be boy na the people themselves should choose but me enye bibia na me pe election no nye many bi wo democracy is consensus and then election. And then election. But most importantly, sometimes only per crona were elected managing appointment. Because in every district, the president is responsible for their development.
Yes.
And I'm a bit torn, but I mean, the devil's advocate.
Yeah.
They share two sides. But say, we are president. Now, you are elected or before somebody. How do you expect the president to be accountable to you? You have to go and tell the people, say, hey, when on your Jumano, me them a president, but one development in by and on your Jumano. So it's a bit of a tricky one. To me, the Abeshason on Bears Adina and Chief Justice, as you see, will serve a single non-renewable 10-year term or until retirement. I think it's also not bad. And also a Kirby way. The only thing, again, double speak Mahama. Okay, say Nana Akufo-Addo, nominate 3 judges.
Yeah.
Former President Nana Akufo-Addo. President Mahama say a overcrowding of the Supreme Court.
Into one copy.
3 no Nana Akufo-Addo say the otie yo. So say ye chisan. So nta 3 no ye chisan yo. President Mahama by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Also nominated more account.
So as a lawyer, only says in your constitutional cap. Well, the number of justices.
The cap can be there, but you must be reasonable. 107.3. Especially for a man who has been president before and who criticized. So the Ghanaian will look at you and say, ah, oh, take Raman, you know. Why is our baby only the Takraman Bakwa or can't for her? Now the generation, now I can't for her, now the shame. We're a friend of dragon behavior. Dragon talk. The President Mahama or Kasata said dragon. 1 minute fire, 1 minute saliva. You can't do that. No, you can't do that. And I'm very pained because I don't know what was say. And one thing and can't about President Mahama and he say, oh, he's such a nice man. And I'm what? President Mahama, oh no, on pebasa basa. Inti, where you fee? President Mahama, by your conduct, you will be judged. And this has to be said on Asasipa. Asasipa, they had the NTM this radio station say, we a radio station, we be a woman and Crawford cannot cray. Most so say, attempted from station ha. Mo cannot cray. Now, much President Mahama say, in some now kind, you know, NCC so said the Oka assem anopa, and this is so, Osono and a candle. Osono can say what you bobo. Bobo. Ah, yes, because Kedeta na bobo no kan bobo na me hu say bobo ana bobo. Mesa me chiao. Bobo na ye dia hye we ni ase say ni ahwe ni. Say hey, we no ba beto kelewele no. Ono ba ha no pa no. Because no pa beto dok no ene numre kelewele. President Mahama untumi nya wo nipa wo wenim na no pa dok no nim enumre kelewele face. Sa de no de enya de a wo say we enti jai emfataw. And so enti no I think generally, you know, these are some of the things. Oh, another very interesting one. Attorney General to be separated from the Ministry of Justice.
Okay.
And also, it reminds me of the same case in UK. Attorney General Office, and Director of Public Prosecutions, and so on. Into that separation, you know, and my DNA to government is kind of an OSP. Except, say, the OSP, you know, age in Achichere Kakra. And an OSP, and so on. Oye ni nyama ni bi chese we mean to think see so because see so no sa de na e call round see the friends with you akose round out I say we some pre no
also friends see so
but we there samato see so well sana minia ki see sometimes oye ni nyama
but some MPP abaya na the office of the special prosecutor ba
na won him say wow to me wow back catch and me by the oye me pe. Yes. Me, one of the things I must give it to President Akufo-Addo. Sometimes, and Crawford didn't attempt any. Or you never be to say Bruni. I say, Martin Amidou, you be ye name say, or you man of justice. Or no one in Crawford cry idea any ultimika. Naye, Indian financial. Wakaweza.
Debbie.
Mahama Kweza.
Debbie.
We have to give Nana Akufo-Addo the credit. It's just a buy, you know. If they not say, yeah, the bar say with the Uba, Beye, Tarzan Kakra, and one say with the 3 to 3, now nam jungle now, or buy the Rambo, or blasty baby, and then grenade boom, and then it took a sickness, please. Young Farmer must say over 2 to 2. Yeah, the Uba say you move around the whole jungle and let everybody know the rules. The jungle of corruption. But Oba and Oye and Oquaye. Okay, on one reason, Oquaye, Yadi Kisisu by Kisisu, why would name me, honestly, or no nonsense person. Because, Nasata will be a lawyer power. Now, proposing a fanama. Or no, there, Nana Akufo-Addo Chochomchu, may so rest in peace. And Nanasi on one pedestal, or a young dynamic person, or the can crack. If you say we are down for Oba is an oil. David, me check Kisi Jabe.
Okay.
But sometimes we are overboard. And when NDC from where you Kisi Jabe overboard on this side. No. For example, the Kenofriata case. Won't be obi fugitive. Won't charge no convicted. You can't do that. So that's wrong. What's not Oquaye? Yenya Martin Pebu Mia na Kakrano. Or Kemu Chi Mrs. Yeah. If you know who came Martin Pebu 7.3. You check the Kakri. The rule of law is not working.
But we still need the office of the special prosecutor.
Oh, and America say it's equivalent to this. That's what is going to happen. the Ministry of
Justice.
Justice, yes. That's because it's going to be able to, and this is what it says: the Attorney General will no longer be a Minister of State or Cabinet Minister. A separate Minister for Justice will oversee the sector, and then the Attorney General will also. So we will say prosecution in Yama and yet President Chuchomuchu. It will be separate.
But still, now President to be in control.
They be say, oh, and I can appointed judge. Judge, what appointed we are. So person is straight out wow or call straight pepe. And so judges be so what appointed in Tino or say I owe you a favor. No more yen near my head and time. It is not befitting of a judge. But as for Attorney General, you can actually sack them at will, which you can't do for example, Director of Public Prosecution and all of that. You know, we'll look at how it will be drawn.
Okay. And
as to separate the two, and also there. I think with Constitutional Review Committee there, can't and kakra.
Quickly, yamra chama wun to me, ye camera mra se media, yam femra kakra. 20 years as a lawyer. Sentence in it will say.
Oh, so yeah, it's a political prisoner affair. Simple. 7.3. Now open me no wo bon komo. Now wo assassin ya ma legal. But you say some area be a forest yanko mining wo. And I say mining be akoso ho nti wunim. Kona kodua coconut. Court requires coconut no 300 acres. And I call na ko chi o producer yi. Patro producer cravenze. Akokraba ye chi akokraba. Ye chi akokraba no. And they say akokraba wo kasa no. Ye pe bono hini. Into wetu aka no kra ne say eye bono hini say koye galamsey na wo de beja o.
Aye ka hye na no.
Say obi an ka hye na no. Ye ka kire o say if you testify against bono hini, right? You will go home free. What is the testimony? Because I can say a coconut I won't coffee. Aramewa. And now buy and I will say one can't change. I'm so say waka. Counsel me now so waka. Now on no other galamsey now no workers wo. The fidi wo. None of them is registered under Akunta mining. No ya china to not for doing galamsey. Because he cannot do galamsey. For facilitating. Now, maybe say law crime, murder and attempted murder. No, it's not the same category. Until you can't use say all your illegal mining sentence to go and even sentence somebody who is supposed to have been negligent. What you can say, oh no, other than one shed your oil. Now, oh no, not all yet. I'm saying, the actual criminal has been set free. No. Me mean TV that. Me murder crano. Se ukona kukubi. Now you be there na cash na no. So no so ye bia. Me you say bia death penalty e ma wa. E bia na ma life in prison. Ana say be ma 50 years ah. Ni at least about 30 years. Me say to jaw ma okufi o. Se wo de boni na wa ye no. Ube kofie ye reduce sentence. Ube kofie free. Eh me de make pa o. We dey nim. Obi me che me galamsey o cha. Me dey won to me me cassette won to me kra ba ho. Won to me kra no. Aso o de bako ba ye nra. Obe me kan ina. Eh se me kofie. Me ho son.
Yeah.
Ba ko num tea.
Obi a be kan, obi a be kan.
Makoji me boba tea bi na me tifie. Ah me nim say ade ya che me. Ah ye ka chere say we won to me ndi adanse against him there any. Obedem 20 years. Buno ina ka be. Me say sa nyama no wa wo yiri. Oba ko ka say oni mu hwe. Una o kan sa. So, Chema want to be case when you look at it at any level. But you see, what is the history between Chema Wuntumi and Mahama or Mahama family? Are you aware? Say, Chema Wuntumi no, and Sani about part 2016. Now, our court with Ibrahim Mahama, okay, the same period of NDC, no, on a kind of minim. Ono boa mesme boa or say President Mahama a friend about the office. So person joining NDC. What kind of story no? Ghanaians have forgotten. And I say Odru Mahama in him no. Na Mahama kuta the mining papers, hands-on mining. In a good name say he was shocked that President Mahama knew so much about him. And President Mahama catching say, or a young entrepreneur guy, number joining NDC. And I say, oh no, the ordinary share MPP no do to me call. And I say fine. And Chebiana hands-on mining another matter. You question the excavators.
Yes.
You know, and I so could Ibrahim Mahama tell and I can't be. And Ibrahim so the most of the court. Me, I remember this call because me, I don't want to mention the lawyers' names. My friend want to be lawyer at the time. My friend Ibrahim Mahama lawyer at the time. We met in the office. We sat down. I told them, says I same way, and sema, I was saying this, say it. Because me, Ibrahim, I'm a classmate. We in the same year group, 89-year group, in from the age of 12.
Ibrahim Mahama.
Yes. Chama want to be so no. My best friend, I was London. I down for no year together. So I also know him very well. Lawyers ni me no so no. Back we am senior 1 year, back we am classmate.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to come out. Now me sure mo tena say sansem we mu twem. E here. Ya kan na but intiasie bi amma at the last end because of a monetary compensation after accepting responsibility, which makes you culpable. Inti no amma no, e je mu sa na e koy. You win the power na asem iti asem we start yo iti no ebi mo ha chema wuntumi de okeka yan later ni bi no enye we dey win am akache no then so you should ask the pain and the emotion with which some people behave in a certain way nyema no mo de aye na da se na no ono so the buafu that same family no and okeka nyema bi so enu so enye iti wo President Mahama there you know the history
enye we kura
some dey ending me kwa muntumi ni da no won so opesa de meko no bi so ye weni bo no so kofa akekeduro no so di ye weni bo no owie no e no sande meko no ka ho to kasa try so you know the history e tell you how bono hene muntumi nka Mahama sensa but ono muntumi de every Ghanaian should know say oyawa the Mahamas have taken him through before burning his excavators his livelihood making him feel torture pain real pain going through him. So he overspoke. Yes, that's wrong. So you can take him to court for that. After all, you see, Chromo, we could count ourselves, right? You take him for slander, libel, whatever, defamation.
Yeah.
Then you go and do what you have to do. But it is not a police case. And President Mahama has all the resources in the world to tell to me, say the things you said about me and my wife and my daughter. I'm taking you to court. He will win his case if he has a case. But Ghanaians should not justify it to say, Nyawun to me can't, I was so called prison for Galamsey thing that he didn't do for 20 years. You are being stupid. You have no sense. Because if you have sense, you will not connect what somebody said to the fact that his liberty should be curtailed for something which there's no evidence. Circumstantial evidence. He did not do. Or say, then, where is your proof? But you cannot say that from the deduction of the case and the way in. Oh yeah. No. Especially when the other person. This is the case for Untumi. Let us stick to the case. Don't go and bring the facts. Say Odi Mahama tem. Oh yeah, Odi Mahama tem. Oh, Mahama ashu excavator 50 da. Was you 50 da? Anybody who can come and tell Untumi that what he did was wrong, which I'm also telling him, and therefore he should be jailed. Then Sani Parome tell me excavator ashi. So they won't be near and yet 2 wrongs don't make a right. But that is not the equivalent. You cannot personalize his behavior to achieve a matter of punishment.
And today, what them no illegal mining?
Illegal mining was let me tell you the history. The history is there. So some people, in some cases, some people when they want to please, and when they have certain briefs, which can be in the darkness of the shadows of this country, and they need to be now you hear commentators now or no the Mahama tem and even some MPP for Krakebi. You are being childish. That is not the issue. 20 years when you didn't do the Galamsey, the law is for people who are doing Galamsey, not people whose land has been used for Galamsey. Yes, maybe you should have known or ought to have known. I know you're different. But I want to be jailing for 20 years. So you have to use a different law to punish him, give him some fine, give him some term of imprisonment for 6 months as a deterrent. And no crampo baby moi. But you can't give him 20 years. And the other man is free. I know the minia. And now they President Mahama.
But I think oh yeah, lawyer ni. Men pesi ebe tumri ka court na nim. Appeal be kwa kwesi baby.
Appeal depends on the appeal judges. You see, the appeal judges, no, they must also come to a certain conclusion. Do we want to speak the truth, or do you want to please? If they want to speak the truth, they know, say, this issue, no, to me can appeal it whilst he's out of jail. They know that. They know. Even though I don't want to use a Sedina example, no, because as for that one, it was what we call a botched job by the Attorney General. And we a different issue. But for me, who to me is a Ghanaian first of all. Who to me is a son of our constitution. Who to me must not be imprisoned unfairly. Unless it's a dictatorship. So if they want a dictatorship to operate under the guise of rule of law, say 4 legs good, 4 legs no good. NDC 4 dia. Ye de omo ko say omo ye A B C dia. Omo de enka. College Dada ye we are court no case no ye aton chen.
Opuni.
At forcing, will you have liked what happened to me to happen to him? He went through the rule of law. The law, the wheels of the law grind slowly. Anything Opuni, it may call 7 years. And so on and so forth. Won't me do nipa? Ghanaians. Won't me nipa? What's our dear way? A your fair I want to mean Kebi. We are MPP new, we are NDC new, so we nipa. Won't me only about it. And so because of politics, now be Minyanubi, Eduji, say, no more be jina, no more justify. Who are Muja? Who are Tinka? Who are Badaye? We yes, I name ya a chese, who knew beer, who sunyami. Because who sunyami, you see, say you want justice to work. Because Boni in Ochina, a bit higher.
Yeah.
Ochina, 20 years from Boni, then we default in poor. You 60 retirement. We should not use politics to do evil because we're in bad. Evil. And we should let the rule of law work. If we want to stop Ghana, say this one will stop it. Because we can't use scapegoat. We can't use Chemaun to his freedom to punish him because Chemaun to so you'll be a boisterous. Now son and your fire and your deal now the Makoto. Sasa ye name it with the same as an NFA. We say F. Asa winty and I'll be jailing. So won't me be in a no man can say when I Mahama you are nobody or whatever. You're teaching you. You can't do that. Intermediate may can say ne way no dear to save face, even though this should not have happened. The Court of Appeal should show us that the rule of law works in Ghana. That's all we'll tell them.
Right.
The rest is up to them. But their conscience will follow them for the rest of their life, where a man's liberty was curtailed because of what happened prior. Circumstantial evidence and yet clear. You have to give him the benefit of the doubt. And in this case, no, it's not a matter of a balance of probability. Balance of probability, say, in TAB, I can say kakra, and I can say beyond reasonable doubt, there you 90-something%.
Or because the lawyer now battle the case here, on any part of your dream.
Okay. So is a bit sensitive. Because obviously a lawyer, I mean to mean can or be case. But okay, with the end of Sakakra. We did many one here, boy, will be a can be Obi Tibia on Sinaso. Bonini. Or client to say Chema won't be. Now, same thing, or can I say, man, now watch your Oquaye, you Kasakasa, baby. Wouldn't better stand. Wouldn't better stand. Obey. Because
you can't order better stand.
Yes, will you take him on the stand to answer?
Okay.
Because you can defend him without him having to go on the stand.
Okay. but who jan or beka bibia.
Yes, oh the no to stand so cousin maybe all the background of starting Jewish in Pagwabum Abia nani Pagwin so Arab. Na okobo Jewish in Pagwa the boof. Just obeka ne maybe asem no cry found no obema ubuofu. You understand what I'm saying?
Lock it.
Yes, because if you are judge the crown on pesa kasano. No, but why? Who can tell me what to do? Sa kasabino. If you are not judge ubuofu. So you have to keep him off the stand.
Now, lawyer, no why you're doing
no, other witnesses, no ma. Oh, no, channel. But no, I'm saying no consigned with the no phantom chain. Be me to intre lawyer behind the Jumas or but Usha, most of the time, be committing murder, be an abibia. Not that if I call in you, but a be an hypocrite because of the temperament, the emotional way, a be an hypocrite. The buffon them into what the no constant so. Lawyer no one day, the buffo say, one the car. I can't also the bonus. Me want to say. Did you understand?
Remember, oh, dear, fetch me cancel.
Yes.
You know, Honorable Michael Oquaye Jr. NDC Nkomo and there were castan more. You didn't go dinner the Kamua, son of a Betias and Uncommon, you know. Me too.
Ain't you know, and no, they know concern by the way. But the other day, Court of Appeal on 1 year, a dear Sefata.
Okay.
Chairman to your mercy. Oh, are you? Don't say Chairman to your diabetes.
Diabetic.
Yes. Aye. Na president of Mahama sane ye wan kase bia nso ntiase o sane ye wa ye ni krom ha
but it seems that
no ani nua dey say we ye ni krom na ye say onu nua ba ko tria check be ye 15 or 20 or bibi check in about say eno any police case obi dey call police station yes oh nyema ni bi ho a e was say to me ye ni hu say we politics but also humanitarian grounds.
But people are too lenient,
well, it's not about lenient. To share, and I can say, in every party they have doves and they have hawks. If we allow the hawks in MPP to take over, the country will become ungovernable. It made me say, as I say, I'm a dove. It made me pass around me say, oh, yan sha semenka. My fa niema hunubi tarehun. Because one share out tarea. Oh, to why we ya crying why. It's not problem about. But the penny say, yen share issue
na bano.
Na yen deal with the issue.
And yen matabata.
When I made to President Mahama fool, say, oh no, he was seen as a dove. He was seen as a nice man. Say, no, you're nicer. Say, Chairman to me. BBC, we all know how the system works. Inti yes, Reno. Sa, Niamana Ekos Romunyai. Ne Yakochiwe, Niamani Bill. On friend in Crawford, no country, said, not in my name. Just that. President Mahama, call all those who are arresting people, making talk, police case in this country, that not in my name. Not in my name. Ya chiobia, ya hunu say, wako yesika. Fili gadochi. Ya deno koye, eko court. Whilst the person was in the court, no, the prakonu jani eko abruchi. Also okakoye medical. Ujani wama back.
Yanko said na Christine.
Yes.
Okay.
Okoye wama back. Ewo mwana Attorney General apply say extraditing emra. Ena yes okay extraditing number because owo abruchi ho. 2026 February yenya appeal from the lawyer. Say or say or appeal the sentence it's okay. Fabre the number extradition. Can you believe, my brother? Can you believe this thing? Say you see appeal normally to 2024 during Godfrey time into a MPP and a man ye and your NDC. 2024 now, so-called appeal. Media that thing is debatable, but the young man benefit of the doubt. Appeal no honor. Nipa Krono was facing extradition. So that thing was not moved. So if it was not moved, how can the Attorney General then defend it and maybe ask for all the other evidence, exhibits they are missing in this document? So to say that no, I just want person in Kwala Nekasa. because until the person is extradited, you to me call appeal case who was the one who responded to the appeal. It's not which era the appeal was put in. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Yes, it will be about Bessano. I said Opeso Sisi Wala. Yes, I know. Yes, I joke. And say, where the old is a lot of phone call. They joke to say, oh, a lot of phone call no moon maybe. And that would me because of money be a cratching. I said, Totofiwa, what is here? Now we'll try and throw. Now catch and say, oh, the appeal came in 2024. But I am the one who responded to it in 2026. Because you were in power in 2024, no, who now my age? This one is a joke. And yes, sir, what was 7.3? Obi, free. Your name say, why yet, dear China, and yet no one said me to the kind. Ejana is Uncle Fee. Inti, Uncle Fee. But
Attorney General say, Obeko Supreme Court, Akko.
Now, say Supreme Court, no, one far evidence in the charging Mamina and Supreme Court. Supreme Court, what would they rely on? What would they rely on to uphold the case? And to Uncle in the Jumaye. Uncle in the Jumaye, no be able to say, we, sad settings we. Ghanaians are already open. Yeah, you who send a releasing for lolly prosecute. And I you it is said in our case in there. Thank God, both said that you're convicted before. Okay, continue case. Also, lolly prosecute. Number 8. Lolly prosecute. You see, sometimes no, when the court releases somebody, NDC for said Nana Kufa a clear agent.
Yes.
So no sometimes you say the 3 are clear. What the 8 now we are super clearing agent.
107.3.
Yes. Me see a dimbia on the fray yes our time. Yes, you remember Musa reference. Clearing agent. Must Nana Kufa a clearing agent. Into Musumi a super clearing agent. But what to me ma and the country say you come to reset. I the air cost no and yet when I walk on and yet but me them ba man west. The air cost no Supreme Court judges 3 and yet but me them ba man 8. Media the air cost MP NDC for the a chi omuna enye no I nipa 4 or 5 no me them ba man 10. We so me mamu bail conditions so enye and now me ma against the constitutional. Say your family or your lawyer doesn't know where you are. So, what you said in answer me, very, very sad. Now, you know, in your home, you know, in your home, but you many be why bar and yet. Indeed, I was say, I can't say, now say, yes, I know. 777, open say, oh, you know, said in an answer, crowd, ashes on at the court of appeal. You can decide, say, man, but go into the case. And let her also go through the motions because nipa chrono ojane bail and no punishment in now. And now when you have scorned from bail, there's no punishment for that. And no crown boy a matter. In fact, and no crown boy a reason court no person uncle jail now kosie whilst your appeal is pending. Omeka said because of your what flight risk. Yankipu. Because who has a tendency to abscond? Why did that?
To be
now I be done so there you say Ujana was saying the same thing. And no cry and shame now. And no Nagana for come and when you're personal. Because me about personal can be said in a mean body D. Because me me or to say my big sister. Nikune madam.
I want to know a personal relationship.
Yeah, me name no. Me name the family. Next sister Kitwa free moved by may God so rest in peace. So I'm a classmate. I know them very well. Well, the Americans say, President Mahama, we all know each other in this Ghana here. President Mahama, we all know everybody in this Ghana. You can't do tea.
Mama, you're doing that.
You can't kill us. You can't kill us. Rollins was able to kill my father. You can't kill me. You can't kill me. What is it? Let's do something. Still, there's a cordial relation. You share it. We can ask MPP. They are not doing well. Sir, NDC too. They will talk. Yeah, your point. Oh no, this one is not right. Now you're now. What? A day. Where you jail people for things they've not done, and then you do the same release under that same regime for people who are being charged even for bigger and higher money. Opening Collins Dowda Casey. Is it no more than 55 million or so they're talking about 50 million bill? Now,
but critics because the separation of powers. Executive yen Juma.
They don't
so why do you blame
say in their time, did they not blame the judiciary that they were working for Nana Akufo-Addo?
Okay.
And they blamed Nana Akufo-Addo as a clearing agent. And we're also telling you that your Attorney General, from what he did with the Sedina case, is not satisfactory and it's not good. And nobody catch on. The Attorney General also says, good to me, the case no circumstantial. The cause no and yet Chief Justice want to can't change fine, but we wait to advise you. Chief Justice, what is that? What's going on? Please, let's look at this well. It can bring problems in the country because it will bring problems. So I want to me the same way. No, we are not going to let it go. In our count a demonstration by. Now, yes, I said in a case of a demonstration by. President Obama, we are going to make sure that you are held accountable for things that happen in your time, especially things that you blame others for. Say no to your kind of to say fraud. No, when I see any engineering problem, and so that's to say engineering problem. You better call. It's a ne President Mahama. Men can't indiscipline be a kona koye jumano engineering problem now can na wunim no kona koye yenye nkwala yenye totofiwa wona we catch say vulture ono insuo to a ose ono no insuo no jaya obesi dan insuo no jaya on si dan ne da na wo de wonye vulture nti wonye bi wo kan ye 2015 ene 2026 wasa aka oboa we will see whether you are a vulture or not. We are going to check President Mahama whether he's a vulture.
But you see him as a vulture?
No, how can I see him as a vulture? I'm seeing him according to his words of reference to a vulture. Say the vulture behavior. That's why I won't call him a vulture. But I'll say that vulture behavior of let's say what's your friend say?
Kokosechi.
Subaino na meka. Into President Mahama no ni subaino Kokosechi subaino. Onyai. Because what me can't say insure na tono. Now, Baba General Wellington boot. Insure Jaya may say 2015. We are now the catcher and say a engineering problem. Into Nana Akufo-Addo President Bonnie on yes say he should check it now. The Oba. This is what you are going to do. Sir Garrett no Ube say the Waste and Sanitation Ministry Ube and the local government. We are Ube ABCD. Now I the removal of the Sanitation and Water Ministry. We are now ABCD now. Yeah, Miss Abba Kokosechi behavior and the baby saw. It's Ghana for 2028. Mokotoba Kokosechi abanso na mokotono Mokokromoti nso ye Kokosechi Kokromoti because mo hwese sa vulture suban e wo ho de a enya mokoto abanintia no because Dr. Baumia de onya sa Kokosechi behavior no ono oyobi a wo hwe ne suban a Dr. Baumia is a very calm person. In fact, I'm surprised that media program friend asumdwe especially after the years election no yen mu bi no Saturday and boy results in you.
Early acceptance no. But the man explained to us that the peace was more important than the politics. But the man also say Koso party ne kakra.
In America, this is why
because Domiko Benyakra no munyan kan wi.
In America. So at that point, I looked at him as a man who has the Solomon wisdom. Instead of the baby to be divided, he just said, give the baby to the other woman so the baby will live. The man wanted Ghana to live, even at the expense of him giving away the baby to the other woman. Now, to me, my Oquaye Junior, because we will say, Nyamisro, Aubrasie, Obia, Oye, a man of peace, Asumjehini, to the extent of his own presidency. The man realized we don't want confusion. We don't want people to be killed. Don't look at me. Nyamani bi wa yenjaya. Anka yesi wo. Yeni wa yeni eti say. Yesu akwa sisa krofabo. Efutuo. Ba omiamu nyina kebna yesu yetie na yesu yeka chen krofo. Ajubreo. Ebumu fu so many atichen bi. But you see, every day for thief man, one day for owner. Now, media NDC ma catch them. Says I knew no more to know. Ghana people make you wake up, make you fight for your rights. You no go sit down, make them cheat us every day. So you cheat us today, but not every day.
You go cheat us.
Every day you go cheat us.
Right. Mamimra, you have governance, but quickly, my reintroduction of tribunals. Oh yeah, maybe I try me defend kangaroo court. Ebe boy, and who won for at this time?
Na kangaroo court. No dear, tribunal. Me the entire member tribunal na say. Me feel say one, a idea the outside influence can become too much. And Ghanaians, just ask yourself this simple question: do you want to go and sit before a judge, chosen depending on the level by the president or the chief justice, and then two more other random citizens? Sit law for krana ya chomomra a mugu court no krano. Near from unanimous FC and I'm one. Me and I'm cast ID no NDC for the guy. Now if the Wakofa unanimous people, more yes, Amasa. Abigo. It's unanimous, so I can't answer what I said.
That means I'm to say, you been your fear form, you know, can't.
Yes, and then I make us say, NDC for Mamma, why in a hurry for tribunal? So who say cases to those one? India, or more shift court. Morning court, afternoon court. Morning judge, afternoon judge. Morning lawyer, afternoon lawyer. Because the cases, they ain't running. You can't come and tell me, say, because you want the thing to be quick, no, and it will dilute its way. How will you dilute courts now? Yeah, baby, yeah. You person verifiable the veracity of the court, no. We say, yeah, the young fa. The normal Ghanaians never so now no, it's not a magistrate court. So what are we talking about? So, and you know, me I just think say we have to rethink it. Ma enye binumu say we are in power now, so we want tribunal. No, because that same tribunal can be used against you tomorrow. And because me, I'm an MPP dove, I don't look at bad things which are being used against me. I don't look forward to using it against you. But you imagine the next Yoko boss from MPP.
One person who been Yoko boss, MPP.
Abronia. Now imagine say ya Abronia Yoko boss. Now the modern family, now Abronia Yoko boss. Now Remoacha. What is a Remoacha? No sympathy pa. Sunday dynamics say bubu here or trade fair this and maybe who catch us. Oh, it was not nice, it was not good. Sorry. And yadia baby. Yes, when I make cano want to make us a living. And I make a bit more before be shown or yaobi. But you don't come and do the same thing to Magdan. Because you see, if you do the same thing, two wrong don't make a right. It was 7 year debut. Anytime I want to say what he did was wrong, but then I explained it into one or young show muno. Ah, they ban. What do I say? MYA
107.3.
I don't look forward to using loopholes of tribunal. Tribunal, no, I don't know. Yeah, can't self scientific. Bia nyanko ponsi. Or my inquiry any idea in answer. If you think that tribunals. We all know the history of tribunals. Are we not aware? Said DF Annan. The first recommendation by him, he said we should scrap the tribunals. I've forgotten who was the person in charge of that committee. Charlie Obin Fair na Omonfa committee. The committee report. You understand? This country was not built just yesterday. And now President Rawlings say, on penny china. And I'm what? So they have to put it there to satisfy him because at that time half a loaf is better than none. So yenina obie bunini eguso and a yejato. In fact, what rather the Constitutional Review Committee should be focusing on is to scrap it. Because now President Rawlings will Yamin fan the crack and see. Now where are we free, you know? Now who mom who could pay jaba. Now where you su now abuse. Now for saying count. Yes, who to a drobonia.
A big count.
Inti edro boni na mufu se mo tunti a mo de mo power anti no entache mo no. NDC, advise yourselves. Enu bi na ale se mo chako kan no. Enu bi na Haruna Idris. We don't share they have vision. They have foresight. They can see say
ebi betumi ato omo.
Because this area confirm me my Oquaye ko any Yoko boss. Now MPP for so mo mpini say ko any Yoko boss. Because only say me ko ha.
On pay Yoko.
They make say hey now they Oquaye the law this and the law into move abroad nyamra. It will say ko election po abroad be win Yoko boss. Hands down. Now on also no qualified do.
Now unya Yoko boss ankape.
Oh, David, maybe you want to confirm a person here. Me to be this. So Bugano, me to be more. Ain't you know, you're very beautiful. Now, they are about me and you. Yeah, we want the opportunity to serve the people of Dominicabina.
Right. Say, can say describe judicial system now. Say now, be describe judicial system.
Under
John Dramani Mahama.
Because I'm a lawyer. I never knew me come, me shiny. But the judicial system, if you are John Mahama, our president, first gentleman of the land, and you have certain problems with the judiciary, you don't come and one compound it or two do worse. Because first of all, that removal of the chief justice and because problems won't be real, and we know where it went through was not the best. The worst part is a mokanyo and sana mobile mo ye into Ghana for Omakato many back and of the back on show. That's the first problem. Secondly, why have you increased the Supreme Court judges by so much? Because unfortunately for Omono, all the tapes are there. A few moments later, and then the campaign. A few moments later, and Nana the president should not bring any more judges to dilute the quarter. And it's okay. It's where I say Shemima. And I'm orange juice. I will dilute to Shemima. You see, I would your own pet Shemima. My friend, you crank on your nom no sa. And I see you. Would you buy no Shemima ma triple? In sure with your good orange juice, won't taste the orange juice to grab you. Because 3 to 8 there, once about now triple. Into Ghana for also show. And one thing about Ghanaians, I'm surprised that the NDC have forgotten. They will punish you. President Obama, NDC, they will punish you. They are more ye na my monte say mo de monte they will punish you. Ghana for who near Koso. Omo who say ato I say or for so no. Me nyam na me kan yo. Bonani, yo ha na education minister Haruna Idris e kan ye to Bernard Avle say ono krapo no per 30 to 50,000 teachers and so budget by man 7,000 per na chesa ato is not forcing
sikanko
yo ha and ato forcing kan say kokofo ye be mo musika say e ba ye omo say we din tro into be say ato forcing obi ani di on the man is here into we say by the time at 2028 they do no obi say ato is not forcing obi say ato forcing in any claim no mutizi o me me tin America say the ati e di an dey right because of what suban any ye be aware it's not just about the judiciary we show the whole governance system now again na scam again na settings buy Muslim be resetting.
But some macroeconomic indicators will be a show green. Policy rate above form. CD I appreciate it. Inflation I drop it down. And then be naka.
And prices are going. Price are going. And electricity and I would try 2024. Ya to akati you. Dollar no more can. When was the last time we used dollar?
Medicine in the third year.
Yeah, me. I don't know about you. I could grab out now. Say, what dollar no go bottom this year. City. Now city electricity. Electricity. And I'm crying for you. See, electricity. Kiki and power. Electricity. No. I nim ne bo in 2024. Water. And that's what they're saying. water yen share your school fees and I won't try school fees
me twa pa
hey international local in akosro the same pay because yen two obia pay mu omo ato omo pay mu you say 15% this percent no nyama na akosro more than that. So we look at that too. That look at only government workers. Most private places no want to pay no sir. Na de me ya e wo mu kra me nsuno ni na kra into me petrol.
Any design you know.
Eniwo. Omo can say enye Russia Ukraine war. Are you aware that Russia, I think they are the third or fourth largest oil producer in the world? Almost say and found petrol prices no it drew $120 a barrel and found Nana Kufa the Yubudini. Into who and then President Mahama 78 Abu Nana Kufa the Dianas where dini. We Udini. That from bisa question answer. Oh, kasa too much say the retro. Let teacher come. Then almost say we are going to remove 2 cities from this. Now government, yeah. But you know you are not supposed to be intervening in that. You know. And no, Nana Akufo-Addo could not intervene because the MPA prices are set by a certain formula. I was a cost through and I was a cost form. You can only take out some of the tax component to make it less, but you can't take it out completely because we bear with this kind
automatic adjustment.
Yes, and so most sorry, I'm not going to pay. And then diesel. It's been your John Jinapo. Wajira John Jinapo Monshano ochina Monshano na monye na interview na mumisa say John how is it going now I sit there I don't say the petrol how is it going electricity ekikimi and also aba now another one cram me the emissary in all of this the can say into NDC government omo a Greek minister sa picture no me fida only deputy finance minister Jose and a deputy finance minister could be in a brofoka. We're giving them 81 million. Kind of Greek minister and say, to so be a tumpaya bullet. Opinion, you say, just a shock. My face can be a man. And a Greek, a baffle. We also know the kind of monies that more NDC you are not paying to the various ministries at the moment. We also know what you are doing after IMF call you. But when you say here, Busi Omakoji, 1 billion. 1 billion,
$1 billion?
Yes, 1 billion. Measure exact amount, whether it's dollars or cities. 1 billion. Omakoji at the moment. It will be such a question. Maybe some say, now more buy saa kokon kitten nyema mbeke kan ye nyina no se na eno enye adwuma e kokon kitten me wo de answer me we de boa me. When was the last time I would say baby papa about e kokon kitten e kokon kitten patch wo de wa ka che me say when was the last time you heard anything positive on that particular matter muni sha mbeka che
but na good policy and initiative for agribusiness.
In what sense? In what sense? Say, Oako Chichin Kokonaba na Enkofakori. And a good government way. Now maybe you say, yeah, agricultural policy, yeah, the NDC food soldiers. Maybe for some Ghana Poultry Association. Now, I'm from one. Now, I'm catch say, depending on the size of your way, be my percentage way. Now I'm going to NDC food soldiers. Who can say omo beye egokon kitten omo can say omo beye niema miesa we. 1, ye ba ma nkoko. 2, ye ba ma nkoko buo. Okay. 3, ye ba ma mu aduane. Omo de kokon no ma NDC food soldiers. Omo amfa nkoko buo na nka ho. Omo amfa feed na nka ho. Ejo no hwa kokon na ono akasa wa wonu fufu. Kokon no so tuntu nkohia na nkoko na be bebre. And I almost started. And the NDC food soldiers also almost started in Oquaye too. Almost 1 year. Need to marry us. And then I'm kind of Ghanaians. This is a very serious matter. There are Greek minister and Kasa Nekache and say, in Kokono the man, NDC food soldiers no. NDC food soldiers na come di omonjo. Omari. Ebimu. Oh yes, you now. I'm say 100% true. Ebi mo so de mo wia mo wi dompe no kra ka ho. Nti akokọ no hu ne hwe kra na ebi kra be ka ho. Sika na make no. Na make about dollars. One government has borrowed $1 billion in 9 weeks. It is Ghana o pesa o kan Ghana cedis a.
Na what kunu ntem.
Ghanaians 100 billion cedis. IMF eko ya o. Eno so yade a be twe o e wo boss. So we'll come to that. So me nyema ni bi ho a.
And then the baba band be decide say on spending.
Say mama ma example. Wo bono yini. You try car every month $10,000. Wo expenses here, school fees, rent, car hire, maybe auto car na try every month. Mortgage then whatever. Inti nipa be 10 and anyama be 10 inti no. We use can be a car you can say 2,000. But you try us 10,000 cedis now. Now what na so? Sika also spend it on car, on spend it. Sika also the man back didi on ye
rent
untia say at least back na was some mom we aduane a obedi nkosia 3 and 4 and one mom nkosia half na we keep sika na aka no say ubo sika be bring go account.
Yes,
but say sika no so dey follow because e da obetua responsibilities in sika na sa enu be na NDC 40 so e fake and hollow government enti no mo ye settings enti inflation ni mo kuta no omo ko spend this sia pe hwero enti ade dey fake
enti books mu de enye kama but botom no ene abonte na ho
now they won't asem we yes say ye tua contractors we boa enti contractors no eba ministry obi bisa sika no and am say ye tua and am say won ye tua e woni de honorable atufose mu kan
labi
munko accountant general na sika no on ka say na sika e wo accountant general ho de say wa ban ho untua contractors no but because we use sika no settings from finance ministry to accountant general book munti no musi metua contractors and still contractors no munyi sika. So what kind of kumsikum sizes? And you know they are not never hollow and fake government ni bi. So these are some of the things Ghana for no make say na aban yesi dollar na mra form na ye ho nton. But say dollar ba form na ye ho chi en dia. And you dey fa so ni den.
Right. Quickly about you I feel one back here ho a ye ne Mike Oquaye Jr. Free zones. MPP pension na e da no. Why Ghana nam sini e wo India. Gabo na dodo na efre no ye PC ma NPP e wo dome kwabenya. Ma no wura dome kwabenya na ye nsi nkomo kakra e wo dome kwabenya sima be numpe.